or turn your video off at this point. I really only see a very little square of you. So that's entirely up to you. So as we begin the class today, again, I'll just mention that I don't think we're going to need any props, although we might be using a strap at the very end. But as we begin, let's go and make our way over onto our mats, and we'll begin lying down. So go ahead and lie yourself down. And as you're lying down, just feel your body resting back. Go ahead and put something under your head if that's more comfortable for you, a little pillow or blanket perhaps. And let's have our feet on the floor. And just begin to feel the weight of your body. We're going to tap into the physical sensation of lying down initially. So feel the floor beneath you. Feel the weight of your feet and your torso and your arms and your head making contact. Notice how the body can relax when it recognizes the support of the floor. Take a moment and soften the roof of your mouth to cultivate ease in the muscles in the face, in the head. And just begin to notice how you're feeling. As we begin this practice, how are you feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally this morning? Just checking in, recognizing, acknowledging. And then with that focus on how you're feeling this morning, begin to notice the feeling of your breathing. So notice what it feels like to breathe in. And notice how it feels to breathe out and allow your exhale to be full and complete. Let the breath empty all the way out. And just continue breathing in a deep way. So let the in-breath be full and expansive, feeling your lungs and your ribs expanding. And let your out-breath be a full releasing and letting go and emptying out. So take as much time as you like here for that fullness of breath. Notice how the body moves as you breathe. You notice the lungs moving, the ribs moving. Maybe you notice the movement of the diaphragm lowering down as you breathe in, softening up and releasing as you breathe out. Immerse yourself in this act of breathing for 2 more rounds of breath. And after your next full release of breath, you can transition to a more natural breath rhythm. And then again, just check in with how you're feeling. Maybe things have shifted a bit. And consider what you might be needing or what you might want to focus on or offer yourself in this morning's practice. What would you like to invite in? What could you use a little more of? What could you offer yourself? The default is always love and compassion. And that's a great thing to focus on. But sometimes we need a little more patience or understanding, or maybe we need a little push. We need to kind of get ourselves going. We need to kind of give ourselves a little more encouragement. What do you need? Think about it. Maybe pick one thing and just breathe it in. Great. All right, when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, go ahead and open them. And let's just take our feet off the floor and hug our knees in. Give our low backs a little stretch and then just kind of gently sway side to side, giving your low back a little massage. And then as you come center, take your knees apart, draw them open as you breathe in. As you exhale, push your knees back together. Just do that one more time. Inhaling to open the knees out. And exhaling to draw the knees back in. We'll lift the legs up in the air, dropping our arms at our side, and just alternate flexing and pointing the feet. Just getting a little stretch in the back of the legs, calf and ankles. And then we'll circle at the ankles in one direction. And we'll circle the other way. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit. Just loosen up nicely here. And then we'll bend our knees and release our feet to the floor. Let's lift our heads a little bit off the floor and clasp the hands beneath the head, letting the weight of the head rest into the hands, elbows wide. We're going to take a breath in, and as we exhale, I'd like you to think about knitting your ribs down into your belly as you start to lift up your head, neck, and shoulders, taking your gaze out beyond your knees, and then we'll inhale to release back. And again, exhale, knit the ribs into the belly to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And we'll inhale and release back. All right, this time we're gonna start the same way, exhaling to come up. And then I want you to just kind of reach your right elbow towards your left knee and think about your right rib going towards your left thigh. And then come back to center, release back, breathe. Exhale and come up, and then take your left elbow towards your right knee, your left ribs towards your right thigh. And then inhale and release back. So let's do that again. Exhale and come up and kind of just twist across a little bit. Elbow to knee, ribs to thigh, and then lower down. And then come up and twist across again. And then go back. All right, now take your feet off the floor, knees over your hips. Take a breath in. This time as you exhale and come up, we're going to twist across, right elbow towards left knee. And as we do that, let's extend the right leg out. And then we'll bring the knee back as we inhale back. So we're going to come on up and we're going to extend the left leg as we twist across with the left elbow. And then inhale and release back. So we exhale, come up, right leg extends, right elbow to left knee. And then inhale back. Exhale, come up. Twist across, inhale, release back. A few more like this, knitting the ribs, and then ribs come across to the opposite thigh. Inhale, release back. And again, other side. Inhale, release back. One more time like this, twisting across as the leg extends, and inhaling back. This time, you can let your head rest on your hands for a moment. Take your legs up in the air. All right, lift your head a little bit off the floor, take a breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna come up again, and this time drop your right leg toward the floor as you twist across. And then bring the leg back up as you inhale back. Exhale, come up, lower the left leg as you twist that left elbow to the right knee. Inhale, lift the leg lower back. Exhale, right leg comes down, right elbow comes across. Inhale back. Exhale, come up, left leg lowers and come back. Let's do a couple more like this. Right leg lowers, right elbow comes across. We lower back down. Knit your ribs, come up, left elbow comes across. One more time each side. Come on up and twist across and lower down. And last one. Nice work. All right, great job. Release your head, release your feet down. We really woke up the core a little bit there. Let's roll to the side now. Roll to your side so you're facing your device. And we're gonna just rest our head on our bottom arm, or if you have a pillow and you wanna slide it under there, that would be fine too. So let's now straighten the legs. All right, so when we straighten the legs like this, we can be a little wobbly, right? It's a little hard to just be here with straight legs. You can flex your feet and just kind of finding stability on our side can be challenging. We tend to rock a little forward or rock a little back. So you may find that you want to put your top hand on the floor here for a little more stability. But either way, hand on hip or hand on the floor, we're going to need to engage the core to maintain some stability here. I want you to lift your top leg up and maybe lift it a little higher than the hip. And we're going to try and make little circles with that leg. That's going to start to wake up the muscles of the hip and the outer thigh. And it's going to ask us if we're going to keep the torso from moving a lot, we're going to have to engage through the midsection. So we're circling the leg and we're trying to minimize movement in the trunk. The hips aren't moving front and back, they're staying stacked. So circle in this direction a few more times. You might think about knitting your ribs in to create that support through your core. Let's change direction on that circle now. Circle the leg the opposite direction. And you're just going to find that you're going to kind of naturally use your stabilizing trunk muscles to keep your hips from rolling front and back. So circle around a couple more times in this direction. And then you can relax that leg down. Go ahead and bend your knees. Push yourself up and then swing your legs around to the other side. Again, coming all the way down on your bottom arm, or maybe you have a pillow under there. Straighten your legs. Try and find that stability here. It's a little challenging. And we all have different, structures, different amount of padding. So you're welcome to put a hand on the floor in front, if that's better for you, or a hand on your hip. Now take your top leg up higher than your hip. We can flex our feet for a little more stability through the leg. And then we're going to circle. Yeah. So it's a little challenging to minimize movement in the trunk here. And that's what we're trying to do, is create an opportunity to use those stabilizing muscles all through the trunk to keep us from tipping over here. All right, let's circle in this direction one more time and then circle the other way. So we're waking up the muscles in the hip as we're stabilizing here. And we'll circle in this direction a few more times. A bigger circle requires a little more stabilizing, so the circle could be bigger or smaller, and then how this is working for you. Last circle here, and then you can relax that leg. Nice. All right, let's make our way around to all fours now. If kneeling bothers your knees, be sure to cushion your knees with a blanket or something underneath. And then coming onto all fours with knees under hips, wrists beneath shoulders, spine nice and long, gazing down between your hands so the back of the neck is long. So we have a fairly neutral spine here. Can you think about knitting the ribs in a little bit for a little more spinal support? And with your ribs knit in a little bit, lengthen through your crown. Let's start to arch the back. So we're going to start to tip the tail up. And with your ribs knit a little bit, can you pull your heart forward and look forward, extending or arching your back here? And then come to flat back. And then if we knit the ribs, we can very naturally round the back. The ribs knit into the belly, we drop the tail, we push into the hands, drop the head. Then come to your flat back. With your ribs a little bit knit in, lift your tail and extend your heart forward. Lengthen, breathe, and then go back to your neutral spine and round. Yeah, as you're rounded, maybe take your hips back a little bit, see how that feels. And then come more forward, shoulders over wrists, long neutral spine, and then start to arch or extend as you breathe in. Great. All right, you can flow between cat and cow one more time in any way that your body might enjoy. Feels right for you this morning. Just give your spine a chance to move through flexion and extension. And then as we come to flat back, let's go ahead and sit back into child's pose. So we'll sit back on our heels. We're going to round over the legs. Your forehead might come to the floor. You might rest your head on your bent arms. Take a moment here to check in. Notice how you're feeling. Connect with your breath, moving into your back body and emptying out. And revisit what you're breathing in this morning. What are you offering yourself? What's important to you? Let your next exhale release all the way out. And then with your next in-breath, lift your head up, reach your arms way out in front. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So make your way up and back to down dog. Really feel how your hands are firmly planted down, fingers, knuckles, thumbs. With your knees a little soft or bent, draw your hips up and back to lengthen your spine, and then feel the weight of your head just dangling off of your spine. Let your head be loose, let it shake a little bit, release your neck. Breathe in and out here. Maybe pedal your heels, bending one knee and pressing the other heel down. Try to get those heels to go straight back as you alternate, bending and pressing. And then let both knees be soft as you draw your hips way up and back, taking a deep breath in. Let the breath empty out. You can blow it out, sigh it out. And then walk your hands back towards your feet, heels come down. Let your body fold over, soft bent knees here, like a rag doll. Feel your feet planted, connected. Take a big breath into your upper back. As you exhale, can you extend your spine, your heart forward? You might have fingertips on the floor. You might have hands on your shins. Do that again. Inhale into your upper back as you round forward. Exhale to extend the heart forward. One more time. Breathe into your upper back as you round over. And as you exhale, draw your belly in and begin to roll yourself up. Take your time coming up. Stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. Feel that gradual stacking as you bring yourself upright. Eventually let your head come up. And then once you're all the way up, let's come and face our device. So we're gonna work a little bit on balance and stability in the muscles in the legs and ankles as we come to stand. So we're gonna just stand on one leg, doesn't matter which leg. And if your balance is a little, needs a little support, you can hold onto a wall or hold onto the edge of a piece of furniture, a chair or something. We're gonna stand on one leg and we're just gonna try and swing the other leg. A little front, a little back. And then very naturally, you can just let your arms kind of swing in opposition like we do when we walk. So this could be a little swing, or you can start to make the swing a little bigger if that seems like what you're ready for this morning. But as the leg goes forward, the opposite, your arms, don't think too much about it, but just let your arms kind of swing naturally in opposition. So we're starting to challenge the balance and strength in the supporting leg here. You might feel the work in the ankle, in the lower leg, in the upper leg, in the hip. If you need a break, take a break, and then you can just start again. We'll do this a little bit longer. Yeah, grounding through that standing foot and working that standing leg. A couple more of these. Nice. All right, let's try the other side. I think we tend to default to the leg that might be, if we have a leg that's stronger, we might start with the stronger leg. Or maybe you just started with the same leg as me. So you can start with a little swing of your leg, and then you can make that swing a little bigger if you like. So this is a way to work on our balance, a dynamic way to to work on our balance. And I think that almost everyone who's of a certain age, one of the things they come to yoga for is to work on their balance, right? Because our balance gets a little worse as we get older for lots of different reasons. And one is we lose strength. One is we lose mobility. So we're going to work on both of those here this morning. All right, so a couple more like this. And then step down. All right, so we'll go back to that first leg, and we're going to lift the other knee up. And I just want you to put your opposite hand on that knee, and then do that on the other leg. Lift the knee up, put your hand on the opposite knee. So we're just doing this contralateral movement, hand to the opposite knee, right? All right, so all these things are just a progression. You can always do the first layer. So now this time, we're gonna put our hand on the opposite knee, and then can you, let's see, turn your body, twist, and then turn your gaze, and then come back. I'm gonna do that differently. First, bring your hand to the opposite knee, and just turn your gaze. Can you turn your gaze in the direction of the bent knee, and then bring your gaze back and step. So don't twist yet. So pick up one knee and turn your gaze to that side of the bent knee, and then bring your gaze forward and step down. Now this can be challenging to turn the gaze, and it, you know, makes you wobble a little bit. And if you don't like the way it feels in your body, you don't have to do that. But this challenges our balance. Can we balance even if we're not looking forward? So this is good practice for our balance. You might want to be holding a chair and trying this. You can pick the knee up and just hold the chair and turn in the direction of the bent knee. So we're just doing the gaze now, which may or may not work great for you. Now we're going to lift the knee and we're going to turn the gaze. Can you also twist? Use your waist muscles to twist your obliques, and then untwist and look forward. Pick up the knee, turn your gaze, and twist your trunk. And then come back, come down. We'll do that one more time on each side. Turn your gaze and twist your trunk. And then come back, put it down, pick up the knee, turn your gaze, twist your trunk. And then come down. Nice job. All right, we're gonna make this a little different. We'll do some more classical yoga momentarily. We're gonna step to the side and try and lift the knee. So it's gonna be a little bit harder because there's a little momentum. Step to the side and try and lift the knee and try and balance, right? So because there's a little push off, balancing is a little more challenging. But this is, again, good practice. It works the muscles of the legs, the muscles of the hips, and it's a good way to practice balance. So you could do a little step, you could do a really big step, and you could even do a little hop. You could do a little hop and lift the knee, a little hop. So you might be doing a big step, you might be doing a smaller step. Whatever you're doing, you're probably challenging your balance, which is a good thing. Let's go one more time to each side. Nice job. All right. Thank you for trying that, something kind of new. All right, so standing just with your feet beneath you, I just want you to lift your heels up. Come up as high as you can. Consider this highest level, level 4, like the highest you can come up. So then lower down to level 3, lower down to level 2. Now you're just going to be really close to the floor. This is level 1, and then drop your heels down. So there's 4 heights. So come up to level 1 and just hold here. So your heels are pretty close to the floor. Then come up to level 2, maybe halfway up, about as halfway as high as you can lift your heels. Then come up to level 3. Maybe you start to feel your calf muscles working a bit more. And then come up as high as you can. Again, feel free to hold on to a chair or the wall here. Stay up nice and high, and then lower to level 3. And then lower to level 2. And then come all the way down. Yeah, our ankles are really critical in our ability to balance. So let's do that one more time. Lift up to level 1. closer to the floor. Should be a little easier. And then about halfway up. This starts to work the muscles in the lower leg. Come up to level 3. And then all the way up. Not only does this help strengthen our ankles, strengthens our calves, it strengthens the muscles in the feet. Let's lower to level 3. Lower to level 2. Lower to level 1. And all the way down. Doesn't that feel good? Feel your connection to the ground. Lovely. Okay, we're going to make our way over to the front of our mat. And as we come to stand here, feel that connection, root yourself down, standing nice and tall. You can think about the back of the crown of your head lifting up, a little bit of a chin tuck. We worked on that last time. Think about knitting your ribs in a little bit if they tend to push forward when you work on your posture. And as you root down now, take your arms out, broaden. Let's inhale and reach the arms up, lifting ribs and shoulders. And then we'll exhale, sweep the arms out and swan dive forward. Knees can soften as you fold over here. Breathe into your upper back. Exhale and extend your heart forward, sometimes called gorilla pose. Inhale again as you round forward into your upper back. And then bring your hands to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Push down with your hands to lift your hips up and back as you breathe in. Exhale and lower to straight arm plank, shoulders over wrists. Nice and long here, pushing the floor away. We're going to hold this plank. We could be here, or we could drop the knees down behind if that would be better for you. But really feel the strength across the shoulder girdle, from shoulder to shoulder, from along the front of the chest and along the upper back. Press back through your heels, lengthen through the crown, align ankles, hips, shoulders, ears. Take a breath here. Now, if you can, try a little bend in your elbows. Elbows pointing back towards your ankles. Take another breath here. And then we're going to lower down. You might drop to your knees first. We're going to lower the chest into the mat, coming into prone mountain. So slide the heels of your hands back a little bit. Let your chest sink into the floor. Rotate your chin in so your nose is almost touching the ground. Hover your head. Get nice and long, toes to crown. And then let's knit the ribs a little bit. Just a little bit of containment of the ribs into the belly as we start to inhale and lift the chest up. Pull the heart forward here. Baby cobra. Exhale and lower back down. Let's try that again. Baby cobra. Inhale up and then lift your hands up. Draw your elbows up and together a bit. Wake up the muscles in your upper back, back of your shoulder. Pull your heart forward. Take a breath. Exhale, hands down, chest down. This time, keeping hands down. Let's inhale up to baby cobra. And if we like, come up a little higher to cobra. Heart pulls forward, heel of hands pull back, and then we'll lower back down. Nice. Let's push up to knees. Curl the toes under and lift the knees to plank. And then lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. We'll breathe in and out here. And then look a little forward, walk your feet up toward your hands, plant your feet beneath you. Let's bend the knees, lower the hips, bring hands to heart. Keep the hips low, but lift the chest up. Reach the arms forward, sitting back like you're sitting into a chair. Think about spine long. Your arms could stay here or arms reaching up alongside your ears. Let's push down into the feet and legs. Inhale and rise up, reach up. And we'll exhale, arms down at our side. Great. All right, rooting down, let's inhale, arms out and up. We'll exhale and swan dive forward. Bringing hands to the floor, let's step back to downward facing dog. We'll take a breath in here. Exhale to straight arm plank. We'll take a breath in here. Exhale, little bend in the elbows or bigger bend in the elbows, your choice. Knees could be down or up. Take another breath here. Exhale and lower yourself all the way down, prone mountain. On your next inhale, make your way up to baby cobra or cobra. And then exhale back down. Make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. Look a little forward, walk your feet up, plant your feet beneath you. This time, let's reverse swan dive. We'll sweep our arms out, inhale and rise up, reach up. Exhale, arms down at your side. Great, let's do that again. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Exhale, straight arm plank. Take a breath here. Exhale, a little bend in the elbows. Take another breath here. Exhale and lower yourself down, prone mountain. From here, inhale up to baby cobra or cobra. Exhale back down. And this time we're going to just push back to knees. And I want you to walk your hands in. We're going to stand on the knees. Again, cushion your knees if that would be better for you. We're going to take one leg out in front. Let's take the left leg out in front. And then, can you curl your back toe under? If you need a chair or a wall for support here, you can use one, because we're going to push up to lunge. All right? And then these hands on the front knee, we can bring them back onto our hips. So we're in a lunge. We want our feet hip distance apart. We're not on a balance beam. We have some distance between our feet. Let's bend into the front knee and press the back heel back. And then we'll straighten the front leg. Bend into the front knee and straighten that front leg. Do that a couple more times. Bend into the front knee and straighten and bend and straighten. Great. Now let's bend the front knee, and then I want you to bend the back knee a little bit. So you're getting a little more of a stretch into this back leg thigh. And then think about lifting the hip bones a little bit to stretch into the hip flexor on that back leg. Now, drop your arms down. We're going to take the arms forward initially. Now, the arm that's the same as your front leg, maybe that's your left arm, left leg, sweep it down, sweep it behind you. We're going to twist in the direction of that front leg. So your arm can pull you back. Can you use your trunk muscles, your waist muscles to also pull you back? Then sweep that arm down and bring it forward. Let's inhale the arms up, breath in. Exhale, arms forward, and then that left arm, sweep it down and behind you and twist. Great, one more time. Sweep that arm down, reach it forward, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come forward, arm comes down and sweeps behind, twist, breathe. Great, we can drop the arms. Let's lean forward, and we're just gonna come down onto that back knee, push the weight back, and we're gonna change legs. So other leg steps out in front, have hip distance apart, and then curl the back toes under, and we're gonna push up to a lunge. Bring your hands to hips. Straighten that front leg. Great. So back leg, heel is pressing back, front knee bends forward. Push into that front foot, inhale and straighten the front leg. Exhale and bend the knee. So our hips are facing that short end of our mat rather than turned towards the device. So we're going to bend and straighten a couple more times. Have a little tone in the belly here, a little support for the low back. Ribs knitting in a bit, belly, low belly turned on. Then the next time the knee is bent, pause there. And let's bend the back knee a little bit and lift the hips up. A little more opening here. All right, drop your arms and bring them forward. And then the same arm as the front leg, let it sweep down and behind, twist in that direction. Use your arm, use your trunk to twist. Then sweep that arm down and forward. Let's inhale, arms up. Lift the ribs, lift the shoulders. Exhale, sweep the arms forward. Front arm sweeps down and back. Or arm that's the same as the front leg. And then sweep that arm forward. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, arm comes forward. Front arm sweeps down and back, twist, turn. Use your trunk, breathe. Drop your arms, or you can put your hand on your front leg. We're gonna come back down on the back knee, and we're gonna come to kneel on both knees. All right, let's sit back on our heels and round into child's pose. Could be extended child's pose, forehead to the floor, or hands, head supported on your arms. Take a moment here, check in and breathe. How you doing? How you feeling? What are you needing? What are you offering yourself? After your next full release of breath, with your next breath in, lift your head up, reach your arms out, make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. So we're gonna make our way to a lunge again. You can do that from your knees like we just did, or we're gonna take the right leg up in the air, breathing in. We'll bend the knee, dropping the heel towards the bum. Lift the knee up a little higher, breathe in. And then let's sweep that knee up and in, look forward and step into lunge. So you could kneel and step your right foot forward, or we could be here in our low lunge. All right, let's press into the front foot and bring ourselves upright. And we're gonna, again, inhale and reach the arms up. Big breath in. And again, we're gonna sweep the arms forward, take the right arm down and swing it behind. Take a breath. Sweep the right arm down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, lean all the way forward, hands to the floor, sit back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. We're going to take the left leg up in the air, big breath. Bend the knee, keeping the knee up, drop the heel towards the bum. Take a breath here. Sweep that knee up and in, look forward and step through to lunge. Get into your low lunge, however you made your way here. Push into the front foot, inhale and rise up. Let's sweep the arms up, big breath. Then that arm that's the same as the front leg sweeps down and behind. Inhale and open and twist. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, arms all the way down, stepping back to downward facing dog. Nice. Take a breath here. Exhale, straight arm plank. Take a breath here. Exhale and lower all the way down. Great. Let's make our way to forearms. We're going to have elbows beneath shoulders, so we can measure fingertip to elbow, elbow to fingertip. We're going to slice down to lift the chest. We'll curl the toes under, and we're going to lift the hips up. So we could be here on our knees, or we could lift one knee at a time, or we could lift both knees. So lots of options here. You could be alternating knees down. You could be on your knees, or you could be knees up. We're just going to hold for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower down. Let your chest come down, elbows wide. Let your head rest on your hands. Let your upper body relax as you breathe in and out. Nice. Let's press the feet down to wake up the backs of the legs. Press the front of the hips down and lift those legs up. With your legs lifted, turn your heels in and hug your heels in towards your midline. Maybe they touch, maybe they just come close. Separate the legs a bit, take a breath. Exhale, hug your heels in towards your midline. One more time. Separate and lift. And hug the heels in. Nice. Go ahead and relax your legs down. Hover your head, bring your arms to your side, reaching back through your fingertips. Press the hips down, lift the legs up. Reach back through your fingertips, pull your heart forward. Inhale your chest up. Back of the neck long. Legs lift, heart pulls forward. Breathe in. And exhale down. Nice work. Let's push back to knees. Take the hips back. Curl the toes under. Make our way up to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. Then walk our hands back towards our feet, dropping the heels, folded over bent knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw your belly in. Begin to roll yourself up. Just take a little time to make your way all the way up to standing up nice and tall. And then when you're ready, come into a wide stance. So feet are wide apart. We'll turn the left foot in. We'll turn the right foot out. Hands can go to hips. We're just going to bend that front knee. So bend the front knee and find a nice distance of feet apart. Hips dropping down, shoulders over hips. Push into this front foot to straighten the leg. Do that a couple more times. Bend and straight. Let's bend the knee and keep it bent. Bringing your awareness down into your belly. Tip your hips over from here. Let this bottom arm rest on this bottom leg. Take your other arm forward and then lift it up. All right, take this arm that's up, bend the elbow, put your hand behind your head. We did this last time. If your head is forward, can you bring your head and press it back into your hand so you align your head with the rest of your body? And then reach that arm up again. Take a breath in and out here. And then push down with this front foot. Reach up with your top arm to straighten up. Great, let's go to the other side. Turn the right foot in, left foot out. Hands on hips. We'll bend and straighten the front knee here. A couple of times. Just making sure you have a nice width here. Hips drop down, shoulders over hips. Let's stay here. We're going to tip over, trying not to tip from the head, but tipping from the pelvis. Tip the hips over. Bottom arm comes on the bottom leg. Other arm can go forward and then lift it up. And sometimes our head is kind of forward. So can you bring the back of your hand to the back of your head and press your head into your hand? Maybe bringing your head more in line with your spine. And then reach that arm up. Breathe in and out here. And then push this front foot down, reach up with your top arm to rise up. Great. Turn that front foot in, and we'll walk our feet together. Nice job. We're going to make our way all the way down to the floor. Come all the way down to lying on your back. And we wouldn't put a blanket under our head at this point. We're going to do a bridge pose. So we're going to bring our feet in close to our bum. Feet hip distance apart, arms at our side. We're going to just feel our feet pressing down as we start to press the sacrum, the low back down, and start to peel the spine up. Lifting up incrementally, just into a nice easy bridge. Come up as high as you do for a nice easy bridge. Knees and shins go forward, hips lift up. Take a breath at the top. And then we're going to lower ourselves back down. Just take your time to unfurl your spine out of your bridge, down onto your low back. So one option is going to be to stay down here, working from the floor, from this bridge position. Now, the next layer is going to be to come up here. We're going to do a reverse table. So we're going to be with our feet on the floor, feet are hip distance, your heels kind of in under your knees. Your arms rather than your hands turning back, external rotation, we want a little internal rotation. So either your fingers pointing sideways or maybe pointing in towards your body a bit. When you take your arms behind, you can bend your elbows a bit and then broaden the chest. Can we broaden the chest as we're here? Now we're going to push into the feet and legs and lift the hips up into this reverse table here. So what's lifting you is your hamstrings and your glutes, trying to get those hips up to the height of the knees if you can. All right, so this is level 1, just holding this position. Now, could you lift one foot and put it back down? Lift another foot and put it back down. A lot more work for the hamstrings and glutes. Now, if this is better for you to be up in a bridge without all the weight on the wrists, you can go back to a bridge and be doing this marching from a bridge pose. And ideally, we're keeping our hips lifted. Now, the next level would be when you lift the leg, straighten the leg. Put the foot back down. Straighten the leg. It's a little longer lever, a little more work for your hamstrings and glutes. Next layer would be, can you lift the leg up? And we'll just do a couple more of these because it's a lot of work on the wrists. You can drop onto your forearms or you could go back and do this from a bridge pose. All right, let's lift the hips up, take a breath, and then come back down. Nice job. Straighten your legs and just shake it out. Nice work. Okay, now we're gonna come all the way down. And if you have that strap nearby, you might use a strap here at this point. If you like having a blanket under your head, you could do that here. All right, I want you to, we'll have our both feet on the floor. Take one leg and hug that knee in. Now, so we have this long femur bone, which goes into the hip socket, right? The upper end of this bone goes into the hip socket. So as you hug this knee in, think about hugging the upper end of this femur into your hip socket, kind of snug it in to your hip socket, and then take the knee out. Yeah, so we could just be working here, holding the knee and taking the knee out. Now the next layer is where you might take your strap and put it around your foot, and you can just grab it with one hand, because we're going to try and take that foot above the knee. This is kind of like a half happy baby. Sometimes we do happy baby both knees like this. We're just doing one side. So we're kind of pulling the heel down, and we're thinking about pulling this this femur into the hip socket. And so you might be feeling a little weight under the low back, and this might feel nice for your low back. Some people don't need the strap. They can just hold the foot, the outer edge of the foot. So that's another option. So the strap is just a way to help if grabbing the outer foot doesn't work. And you could be here with the knee bent. Some of us might try straightening the leg a little bit, see how that feels. If your hamstrings allow. Take a breath. Bring the heel back over the bent knee, and then just bend the knee. If you're using the strap, take it off, put that foot down. We'll try that on the other side. So we're gonna hug that knee in and think about hugging the head of the femur into the hip socket, and then take that knee out, and same idea, the head of the femur hugging into the hip socket. Sometimes that just feels nice in the hip, nice in the low back. All right, now take the foot up. So the foot, we kind of want the heel over the bent knee. And so it might be helpful to put the strap around the foot so that you can do that and pull that heel out over the knee. Some of us might be able to grab our hand to the outer foot and do it without the strap. Either way is fine. And you could be here kind of pressing the heel into the knee, pressing the head of the femur into the hip socket and feeling a little weight in the low back. You might try extending the leg out if that feels like a nice stretch in your body. Take a breath in and out here. And then bring the heel back over the knee, and then let the heel come in. And if you got the strap there, you can set it off to the side. All right, great. Let's hug both knees in now and just give ourselves a nice little low back release. And then we're gonna let the whole body roll towards the camera. so that we stack our knees. Take your bottom arm straight up from your shoulder. Take your top arm and place your palm on top. And then get your knees up close to your elbows. Then lift the top arm up and reach it back behind you, rolling open into a nice stable twist. So your knees are stacked as your upper body is rotating around. Reach back and look up or look back at that arm behind and take a deep breath in and out. Breathe in something that you might want to offer yourself, or let go on your exhale of something you're ready to release here. One more round of breath. And then take the arm that's behind, bring it back up, bring it back down on that bottom arm. We're going to roll all the way to the other side. So bring your knees up and roll all the way to the other side. So now the knees are stacked. The other arm is on the floor. The other hand comes palm to palm. We'll bring our knees up close to our elbows. And then the top arm reaches up and back behind, keeping the knees stacked here, taking the chest and the gaze up to the ceiling or looking back at the arm behind. Use your breath now. Breathe in something positive and or breathe out something you're ready to let go of. If there's something that's bothering you, something you've been holding on to, a grudge, a frustration, resentment, just let that go with your exhale. Make space for love and forgiveness and understanding. With one more breath. And then that arm from behind, we can bring it back up, bring it back down. We're going to start to transition into our final relaxation now. So for our final few minutes together here, we're going to set ourselves up to be as comfortable as possible. So that might mean putting a pillow under your head. That might mean putting a little support under your knees. That might mean putting a blanket over you so that you're nice and warm. So what could you do to make yourself as comfortable as possible? Take the time to set that all up. And once you've made yourself comfortable, then we give ourselves permission to allow ourselves to drop into a very relaxed state. So we're done with our focused practice now. We're done with instruction and the need to do things and be in a certain position, a certain way. Now we're going to let all those muscles that we worked in our practice totally relax. So feeling the arms and legs becoming heavy and loose and relaxed. Feeling the belly soften, the gut unclenching, letting the weight of the hips and the seat relax into the floor. Feeling how the weight of the shoulders releases back, allowing the chest to soften and open. And letting the heavy weight of the head rest easily back, inviting all the facial muscles to soften and smooth, unfurrow, unclench, and relax. And as the body gradually relaxes, releases, Let your mind be like your body. Let it rest here now. No need to think or plan or do. Just allow yourself to be as you are here now. So often we feel weighed down. There's so much going on in our lives, in the world. Sometimes the weight feels very heavy on our shoulders, on our bodies. And it's important to take time to set that burden aside. You can't carry it all the time, it's too much. So we take some time and just let it all go. And experience the lightness that we need. We can rest in this lightness and rejuvenate ourselves, refresh ourselves. And in this renewed state, perhaps when the time is right, we'll pick up a burden and have the strength to carry it. So you're welcome to stay lying down longer if you like. If you're ready to come out of your relaxation, you can open your eyes. You can begin to bring your feet to the floor. You might gently roll to your side and spend a little time on your side, just transitioning. And when you feel ready, you might push yourself up to sitting, taking a final few moments in our practice to just bring our hands to heart. Maybe take a moment to appreciate yourself for making time for this practice this morning, or a little gratitude for some of the things that you appreciate in your life. I thank you for being here this morning, and I wish you a wonderful day. Peace. And you're welcome to head off on your day if that's what's best for you, or you can come and say hello or goodbye. I'll make my way back over.